only blocking an extra, like you're gonna block like 2 or 3 less bullets when you get to like actual flow of the game. And when I see, and like this doesn't matter for low elo either, because like there's strangers I see flicker their shields too often. It's a nerf by definition, but no impact is gonna be based on this one change. No impact's gonna happen. Rogue increases defensive stance. That's good. I literally never use it for energy like conversion. I've literally never used defensive stance for its conversion. Like it doesn't matter. It does. It's so negligible that like I've never actually used it for its conversion. And then reduced fatal attraction. That this is big. This is big. This is big. I already think Rogue's like a strongish character. Like this, like I might just be a Rogue OTP next season. Like that. This is big. This is big. This is big. Hammer throw new effect. Now gains. This is right click. How can you hit multiple times? I guess if they're like stacked, that's fine. That's fine. And honestly, this is fine too. This is probably this is just good for the character. I don't want to call this anything other than just Thor hammer. The right click you now gain HP, and then you shift you lose HP. Which honestly, like they nerfed the shift, they buffed the right click. Which honestly, like the character needed. Sorry, Storm Surge, disgusting ability right now. Nerfing Storm Surge is very good. But I don't think they. I think it's perfectly reasonable. Venom. I despise this. I despise this. I don't want. Why does Venom need a small survivability bump? The guy never dies. Every high elo Venom ever has like 25 kills, 2 deaths. The dude never dies. I don't know why we're increasing his HP. Sure, it's negligible. Like, what is that? That's like one percent, 6.5. That's like 3%. 4% increase in health. It's not that much, but it's still just like why. Deadpool DPS. Honestly, I'm expecting a buff. Buff all around. That's fine. I think DPS Deadpool is bad. Moon Knight, hoping a nerf. Uh, that's fine. It's a nerf. That's okay. I'm expecting a nerf from Phoenix. Phoenix is very strong, and the survivability nerf is okay. Reducing like the HP of Phoenix is a start. Right? Phoenix has been meta since launch, since release of the character, and they've only nerfed her since. And I think this is like you're allowed to have strong characters, right? But make them glass cannons. So if you want to keep the power level of Phoenix, they're opting to reduce health, which I think is a good start. But I really think like a 225 HP Phoenix would be very good. I think this is very close to the correct answer. She has a teleport. She does have a teleport. Psylocke. I'm expecting a buff from Psylocke. I'm expecting a buff. Let's see. Damage fall off. A buff to fall off, so she could poke. I don't want that though. I want a buff, but I don't want her to buff in the poke phase. Like, why are we buffing the poke phase of a Psylocke? Psylocke's supposed to be an invis assassin. Like, let's not buff the poke phase of a character, please. I already hate poke as much as there is. Reduces a nerf to the ultimate. 10 HP. Is that negligible? I don't know the timings. Like, is this enough to live 2 attacks in like a cloak bubble? Is this enough to live 2 attacks out of 3 attacks if 2 people are in cloak bubble? Like I don't know what this does to the timings of abilities. If 2 people are in a cloak bubble, does this kill through? You know, and I don't know because they've also nerfed the cloak bubbles auto regen. So I don't know. Do not know. Do not know. Squirrel Girl. Honestly, Squirrel Girl is. I think Squirrel Girl is exactly where she needs to be. She's not good. She's not bad. She's a terrorist in low elo and a terrorist in high elo. For different reasons. Uh, so projectile speed. I think is a thing that gives more like skill to the character. The faster the projectile speed, the more you can aim with the character, less predictions you need to do. There's less, distance, time travel. And honestly, a buff to that, I think is fine. I think this gives more ability for the Squirrel Girl player to show skill. This allows good Squirrel Girl players to play better. Start legendary, cost of reduction by 10%. So if they were at 90, they would have it. That's gross. That's gross. That's gross. That's gross. I don't want to go back to you would bubble Star Lord presses E, Star Lord presses Q, Like this is saying we're gonna go back to I'll bubble you Star Lord, disco ball, press Q. Oh my gosh. Friendlier to use. What's happening? Using wind blades and boost aura grants health up to 75% max HP. Using Windblade and Bolt Rush under this aura now grants. I don't understand what this means, but that's okay. Thunder, new effect under this aura. Okay, so what I'm understanding is that when you are in speed mode, you get HP, and when you are in damage mode, it reduces the cooldown of stuff to make you do more damage and increases Bolt Rush's field. Okay, so there's more there's a passive effect in your modes that isn't just speed and damage amp. That's fine. I think Storm's not good. I think Storm isn't good. I think this is a buff, so fine. I don't. I love auras. Like I love auras. Auras in games make me happy. Just a big ass circle that does passives. I enjoy auras in games. I think that's fine. I think Loki Lamps is strong, but I like the idea of being in a little circle, do something. I like Storm the character. I think Storm the character is a unique character, and I'm glad that they're buffing her because I think Storm is fine in meta as long as it's not Storm press Q. As long as it's not Storm's ultimate that's broken, with the Fire NATO and the Jeff NATO. As long as it's the character that's good, I'm happy. I like Storm the character, not Storm the alt combo character. Punisher, that's fine. This is just really scary. All right, Punisher is getting a reduction in a 10%, almost like 8% reduction to ability. All of that's going to say is that mag players, like, as a mag player, you try to build your ultimate faster than a Punisher, so then you can have it. And I don't know if that's going to really mess up timings. This could really mess up, like, the stress of a mag to farm ultimate to get it in time. Luckily, I'm not a mag player, so I don't really care. But it's gonna be interesting to see. Mag didn't even get a buff, so what is gonna happen between Mag and him? Wolverine, less waiting, more slashing. Wolverine rage can't be countered. Wolverine's ultimate's what the hell? That's like a 12% decrease in what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Well, I don't know if Wolverine's gonna get banned because it's just his ultimate, but that's gonna get really annoying really fast. That's a rough. I actually hate ultimates in general. I wish we doubled every single character's ultimate because I feel like fights really just come down to, oh, I sit and poke each other, poke each other, poke each other, Q, Q, Q. And with them being so short on cooldown, you're allowed to do that. Well, I think if they were like bigger timers on them, I think it'd be better for the game. Force them to actually force both teams to take fights that don't have ultimates. Uh, cosmic upgrades, flights, and more fight. New ability can enter flight mode. Okay, you can fly, but it's a temporary fly, and then you can hover. Okay, you can hover and fly. Interesting. Honestly, more lore accurate. Adam was bad. This is a buff to Adam, but this is like a Adam being able to fly. Adam being able to fly, is that the buff he needed? You know? Adam being able to fly, I don't know if that's the buff he would need, but it will make his ultimates better. Right? Instead of Adam having to just slowly walk somewhere and hide, he could just fly up to high ground mid fight and then press Q. So I do think it's gonna make it ulting easier, but I don't know if they're gonna do anything else. Cooldown reduction. Like, this is good. This is good. Invisible Woman's been broken for two reasons: survivability of the self shield and then the slow cooldowns. They've nerfed the survivability. She's still S tier, so now they're nerfing cooldowns. So honestly, like the dev team, if the dev team acts like they did for Sue, that's a good dev team. Whoever is in charge of nerfing and buffing Sue is good. Sue was the worst support in the game. They buffed her. She became broken, and they've nerfed her 2 times in 2 different ways for the reasons why she was broken. To find the sweet spot. Like, whoever is in charge of Sue, sure, they kind of messed up overtuning, but I feel like if every character went through the Sue phase of overbuff, nerf, perfect, I'd be okay with having every character broken for a month and a half. This shows me I have trust in the dev team. The Sue, like, she was broke. She was awful. The worst support in the game. Was broken. And slowly nerfed by the reasons why they were broken, while still allowing you to have the self shield, right? They didn't say never mind, no self shield. They reduced the healing from the self shield. They reduced the health of the self shield. They reduced the cooldown of the abilities that were broken. You know, like these are good nerfs for a character. I am impressed that they took this route. I think it's very, very showing of the dev team. Loki, less healing, more schemes. This is the Ioannis mystical missile charges. You get more characters. Honestly, that's fine. That's fine. Loki needed a buff. This is a buff in any way. I don't know if this is his invis or his clone. Either way, 12 to 10 is a buff. And honestly, that's fine. Buffing not the runes is good. Loki, I don't want Loki to be a rune slave. And this shows like he was S tier at the beginning of the game because of how much damage he did. And as long as we don't like rework that and we work on his other kit, I think that's fine. Ultron's very scary. This is fine. I think this is a bad character made to be better. That being said, I do think this is gonna be enough to see a lot of Ultrons in our games. I think this is gonna be enough to let Ultron back in. I think Ultron's gotten buffed twice in a row. Ultron's already like a kind of okay character. I think this might be enough for Ultron to be back to being disgusting. Okay, remove the Fantastic Four team up. W. Also gains a team up with Deadpool. A boombox bullets ability. Don't know what that looks like.